In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 best ideas to the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Check this out. Welcome to my channel where we show ways to increase your joyful mindset, increase your vibration, and live a joyful life. The big idea number 1 is see things from other points of view. The author goes on to say that if it's just one thing you learn from the book is to see things from other points of view. He goes to say that if it's one key to success is to really truly see from the person's viewpoint, the person you're having a conversation with, the person that you're trying to build even a relationship with. He said that 90% of the people in the world don't do this. They don't see the viewpoint of others. Ask yourself, when you're in a conversation with someone, do you feel like you're actually listening to what the person's viewpoint is? You have to see it from their angle to see what they're actually saying. This helps you become an even better listener and you catch things that you didn't think you would. When you do this, you're starting to understand the person's viewpoint, what they grew up with, what's ingrained in their minds since they were a child. If someone is disagreeing with you, there has to be a certain reason why. This is so vital when it comes to seeing a viewpoint of others, just because it helps you understand. Understanding is the number one thing. It helps you understand the person. And when you become understanding and you're understanding from their viewpoint and you don't get as offended and you don't take things personally. I want to tell you a quick story about what happened last month with one of my massage therapists. She's actually someone born and raised in Russia. And I asked her straight out, is it safe to visit Russia? With the whole thing going on with the war, things like that. A lot of people are saying definitely no. But in her viewpoint, she said, actually, yes, it's safe. If you go to St. Petersburg or Moscow, it's actually quite safe. There's still a lot of tourists going, a lot of things going on. And she said, Vicky, with you and your upbringing, you don't see the viewpoints of us and my own country because this is where I'm from. She told me stories, things happening, and I had no idea. Instead of just judging and listening to what the news says and all this massive media, I went to actually ask her genuine, specific questions. And to my amazement and surprise, it was something I did not expect she would respond to. It's because of the upbringing. It's because I was able to listen and to actually see things from her viewpoint. If you're new here, I post simple ways on increasing your vibration, living a joyful life, and having a positive mindset. If you like, subscribe, and comment below if you've read this book or you're just curious as to see what other viewpoints people have. Comment below. Next big idea is becoming genuinely interested in other people. This is a big one because it's human nature to be more self-involved in what we're into, in what we want to do, in what our interests are, in what our viewpoints are. He says just in 2 months, you can make more friends by becoming genuinely interested in others versus 2 years in having them being interested in you. 2 months versus 2 years, just from this one concept. One way to do this is when you meet someone new, ask how their day is. Ask what's new. Ask what new projects they're working on, what their interests are, hobbies. You know, you're just being curious, not creepy, but curious. I do that myself. If someone is someone new, I meet someone in the elevator, and I did this a couple weeks ago. I met someone in my work elevator, and they saw me holding a book, and I asked them, instead of me telling them a story about myself and the books I read, I asked them, oh, it was a self-help book. You can tell I love my books on personal development. I didn't say these are the books I read. I said, do you read these kind of books as well? Or I asked, do you read as well? And what kind of books do you read? And that opened up a conversation, and we became more like acquaintances at work, and we shared different books that we've read just from me asking and generally being interested in that person. Doing this one thing you can also use for your own life is if you're building anything, whether it be like a business, a YouTube channel, podcast, anything like writing a book. Be genuinely interested in other people by being in service to them. This is what they call when people are going through different target audiences or different research on target audiences and things like that. What do the people who want my product or service or information, what are their main pain points? What do they want? What are they interested in helping in their own life? That is one way to help bring more service to the world and to others. A study was done, and they mentioned in this book, is that when they researched 500 phone calls, they got a study, is that when they heard the recordings of the people, the word I was mentioned over 3,900 times. So that just goes to show that it's always about the person, what they want, what they're interested in, it's I. Instead of using the word I, especially with this concept, start using the word you. Yourself. How are you doing? What can this be? How can this get it done for you? What are you into? What are your interests? Well, when you start thinking about that and using less of I, rather it just being about you, it changes the viewpoint and your conversation. The next big idea is smiling. I hope I'm not creepy. And when I say smile, not the creepy, scary smile, I think all you know what I'm talking about with those horror, scary movies. But yeah, no, not that smile. There are so many benefits to smiling that I will create a video on this. So much so that it does really help you win friends and influence people. This simple thing is one way to create a good impression on anyone. Dale Carnegie says that when you smile, it's telling the person energetically, hey, you seem like an awesome person. I like you. You know, being around you makes me happy. And people feel that energy even if you're not saying anything. It goes to say that's why dogs are so happy. For all those dog lovers, I am one. My doggie is named Bella. She is amazing. Every time I see her, she's just like so happy. I think at the moment she was crying earlier out the door. I feel bad because I'm recording this video. But I will give her belly rubs later. She's just so happy. People are gravitating to these little fur babies because they're just so happy and smiley. Of course, what could you not say? Why could you not want to go ahead and like hang out with this little doggy? The same thing is with a baby smile. Like a lot of people, when they see a baby smiling in public, you just gravitate to the little smile. It's so cute. Remember, the smile, it has to be real, genuine, and come from the heart. Because when it comes from the heart, people feel that. People just know it's not a fake smile, but they know that you genuinely are happy as a person and happy to see them. Just this one smile can light up another person's life. It can make such a big impression. And that's what we do as, bright workers here, and brighten your mind, to brighten your life, to brighten the world. Because when you're brightening your mind and you're brightening your life, you're like, okay, it's good to smile. You want to smile. When you're sending that smile to someone else, you're brightening the world. And it's what I want to call us bright workers. And that's what I see it. I think it's amazing. The other day, I had a story of a coworker who we have to call certain vendors in our role. And she was so afraid. She's like, Vicky, I don't know what to do. I can't. And I said, stop. Before you call, have a genuine smile and think of being calm. Like smile where you're on the phone. And she never thought. She's like, you know what? I'm going to try that. She did 2 phone calls in a row. And she said, Vicky, automatically, these people, I can tell they were smiling. I can tell they were patient. I can tell they were calm. And she's no longer afraid of calling these phone calls where they can be irate at times. And it's interesting how this one small concept can make a big, huge difference. Because energetically, they can feel that on the phone. Smile. It costs nothing. It creates so much. It happens so fast. And it can last forever in the memory of the receiver. Also, I have a course called the Brighten Mind Blueprint. It shows the 5 basic ideas to do right now to help increase your vibration, increase your joyful mindset, and live a positive life. Click the link below to get my free access to my Brighten Mind Blueprint course right now. The next big idea is remembering a person's name. Dale Carnegie says that when people are called by their name, it's the sweetest sound that they can hear in any language. It makes the person feel important, that you actually care. You actually care to call them by their first name, and it makes them feel like you care and you're genuine. He mentions in the book that the average person loves hearing their name more than all other names in the world. Remember, he also said that when you say someone's name, it's a compliment. But if you forget it and misspell it, that's when he said you're putting yourself in a big disadvantage. I read this book years ago, and I can't believe how little things that I'm still doing till today. I think I read it about 18 years ago, and currently even my own life, I'm using it. I have a new boss that I'm starting to work with, and he has a specific name and the way it's spelled. And I was being genuine. I said, is this how to pronounce your name? Or is this the way to pronounce your name? Even the pronunciation. He looked at me and looked shocked, and he's like, wow, thanks for asking. No one's ever asked me, but this is the way to pronounce it. And he had a big smile. He was like, wow, this person actually cares about how to pronounce my name. It's the simple things. But once you start applying this idea of calling people by their name, your relationships start magically changing for the better. The next big idea is be a good listener. It goes a bit hand in hand with becoming genuinely interested in others and their viewpoints. Encourage people to talk about themselves, especially if you want to win friends and influence people. Let the other person do a great deal of talking. There's a saying that my mentors mentioned to me years ago is God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them proportionately, meaning listen more than you speak. One way to do this is actually be genuinely curious about another person. Curiosity deepens conversation with others, and it lets them talk about themselves. The more we listen to others, the more they are in tune with you. When you listen intently and really hear what they're saying, this gives you an opportunity to see what their viewpoint is, what they actually are meaning to say, and what they are trying to convey to you. This can really help with negotiations, dealing with difficult people, bosses, coworkers, your partner, your spouse, and even your kids. To be great at communicating is to be a good listener. Dale Carnegie says, to be interesting, you must be interested. Encourage others to talk about themselves, about their accomplishments, about their goals and dreams. Remember that people you talk to are 100 times more interested in themselves and their viewpoints, their wants, their problems, than they are in you and your problems. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment below, and turn on notifications to get more videos like this. Now, I spoke of 5 best ideas of how to win friends and influence people. If you like to supercharge your mindset to help you win more friends and influence people, start with detoxing your mindset. Watch this video on 5 best ideas on the 7-day mental diet. See you in the next video.